So I was looking around on Twitter last night and I saw this come up. Mount Everest just grew a couple more feet overnight, at least on paper. After years of surveys and calculations, China and Nepal have officially revised the elevation of the world's highest peak to precisely 29,031 and 69 hundredths feet above sea level, which made me go, mountains can grow? What? So I want you to think about it for a second. Pause the video. What do you think might cause mountains to grow? Okay, after you've thought about it a minute, let's talk a little bit about what Everest is. Everest is the tallest mountain in the world. So where is Everest? Well, if you look here, I put a little white dot over where Iowa is, and there is a yellow star where Everest is. So if you're looking for them on a map, that's where you can find it. But we really should figure out more about Everest in order to answer this question. So what we're going to do is we're going to read a story about Everest. So whenever you go to read, you want to make sure that you know what you're trying to answer in the reading before you read. So first thing you're going to do is go through and read it once, just so that you can kind of see what it's about. Then you're going to go back and read it for a second time and make sure that you're checking out the pieces of information that you're going to need as you go to answer the questions. Then in your own mind, make sure that you summarize the key ideas in your own words. So how would you tell the story about what the reading was about in your own words? Or you might need a diagram or both in order to do that. And then you're going to jot down new questions that it raises for you. So you are going to take a look at in your notebook, you are going to write down Mount Everest reading. And you're going to divide your page into two parts, notice and wonder. So you're going to read the article, and at the end of each paragraph, you are going to notice and wonder about what you've read. So you're going to go back into the Google Classroom. You will find a thing that says Everest reading. You're going to read the paragraph. Then once you get to the end of it, write down things you notice, write down things you wonder, and then you're going to do it again. Go ahead, take a second, and do that right now. All right. So think about some of the different things that you were able to notice happened to Mount Everest and some of the things that you were going to wonder. If your teacher allows it, take a second and talk with somebody else in the room about what you found. Then I want you to think about, what do you think might cause Everest to change in elevation? And what might cause it to move to the northeast? What? Mountains can move? That's really weird. So after you've talked with another person, you are going to develop your own model of what you think is causing the change in elevation of Mount Everest and why you think it might be moving to the northeast. So in your Google Classroom, you will find a page that is a Jamboard that looks like this. And on this, I would like you to use words and drawings in order to explain what you think is happening to Mount Everest. You can draw anywhere on the Jamboard and you can write at the bottom of it. So pause this video and take a second and write, what do you think is actually happening? Now that you're done making your initial model and what you think is happening, it's time for us to see if this happens other places in the world. Take a second and make this table in your notebook, or your teacher might have a copy just to give you. Pause the video while you do this. All right. right, so you are going to be picking out 3 different mountains to do some research on. And you are going to figure out the height of the mountain, the movement of the mountain if it's moving around, just like Everest did, changes in height, if there's any earthquake activity, anything else you think might be different, and what you think might be causing some of the changes. You are going to research 3 of the mountains. You can choose which 3 out of the 5 that you're given. So in your Google Classroom, you are going to find some different mountain cards. And in those mountain cards, you are going to read the card and you are going to find the different pieces of data and ask these questions as you go. So here's what the first one looks like. This is Mount Everest. And you would read about the information about Everest and then put information into your table. Pause the video while you go ahead and do that. All right, so now that you have some more information about what's going on, it's time to add to your initial model. You're going to go back to the Jamboard that you did your model on, and I want you to account for what do you think is happening with these other mountains. So add to your picture, add words, add drawings, so that you can show how your model has changed over the time.